This past week, we have seen that we've lost two football greats in Alele Ngqongqa and Diego Maradona. Now, we're looking at Alele Ngqongqa, a South African international, 52 caps for Bafana Bafana. He has won here in South Africa. He has represented South Africa abroad. We look at Diego Maradona. When you think about him, you think about the hand of God. You think about the scintillating football that he played. Rest in peace to those guys. Wherever they are, we're sure that they are playing some great football. Cheers, guys. Welcome, football stalkers. Hard Rock Cafe, Laitimos. Every Sunday, Remo. And I said it last time, and I'll say it again. Come through, enjoy the vibe. Lautlamos. Giddy chill vibes vandaag. The sun is out. Homonata. I don't know, maybe giddy Black Friday, but anyway, let's talk football. Bloemfontein Celtics. The Celtics game. What about that game, ne? Against Black Leopards? I would say it was an even game. An even game. Celtics, as I said before, I like the structure. I like the way they play. They've got very good talent. And last time when I spoke about them playing against Cape Town City, I did say that their most deadly attack should come in the form of Mabena, in coming from Serra, and also having Potsani or all those other young guys. And they did exactly that. So they had Mpotsani and Mabena. The combination that they had in transition, they were very deadly. That game, I would say, Celtics deserved to win all the way. There's no doubt there. First ever win, which is a surprise. But obviously, Dylan Kerr, the Black Leopards coach, came in. And it's going to take him some time before we can start seeing Black Leopards playing the way he wants it, and then maybe start seeing some good results. So good work from Coach Maduka. Dylan Kerr, he's still got some work to do. But that game, I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed Celtics the most. What a transition, what a counter, what a play. I loved it. 4-3-3 formation for Cape Town City. I love it. It's attacking with your Mdantsane, your Nodada, your Robertson. Cape Town City doesn't disappoint, especially when they get going. The game against AmaZulu, I can say that the game was pretty even from a ball possession point of view to shots on target. It was pretty even, but I think sometimes I don't want to be swayed too much about the shots on target, because sometimes those shots on target are not really troubling shots on target. You know, maybe it's one of those easy saves from the goalkeeper. But if I look at the game overall, Cape Town City was clicking. They were playing. And I also mentioned in the game against Sundowns with AmaZulu, AmaZulu is fearless now. And look, we always know that AmaZulu, in terms of their brand of football, they like playing the passing game. They took the game to Sundowns, and they did the same with Cape Town City. I think now probably Cape Town City would felt hard done by the penalty that Moroka got, which was outside the box. That wasn't a penalty, but unfortunately they gave it to AmaZulu. They scored, but they came back. So that first half was fire. That was end-to-end stuff from those two teams. But if I look at overall, I would say probably Cape Town City deserved it more. They should have taken their chances. They didn't. But in the nature of football, we know you need to take your chances. You can't be talking about what ifs and all those things. But Cape Town City, they keep on producing in terms of the way they play. They just need to keep up with the results. So AmaZulu as well, I like the way they look. I like the way they play. It's a quality team. If you look across from Ustembu to Masilela, if you look at Mulenga, if you look at Majoro, so there's quality in that squad. There's quality in Cape Town City. What a game. But I would say maybe not a fair result. I would say Cape Town City deserved to win that game. But it is what it is. SuperSport United against Maritzburg United. Look, the SuperSport of Kaitane Tembo play some direct football, but as well they can play some exciting football. Playing against a struggling team in Maritzburg United. Look, I think this matchup will always be entertaining, and it was no different when these two played against each other on Friday. I would say in this game, I wouldn't necessarily say it was even, but probably the score could have been more in favor of SuperSport United. Look, SuperSport had a number of chances and they failed to convert them. But it was good to see Grobler, who was on the score sheet. I mean, he scored a brace. And look, we all know he's a top striker. He should be in the top goal scorer at the end of the season. So to get him have 2 goals in 1 game, that's a good start for the South African. For Maritzburg United, the woes continue. While they wait for Middendorp. Look, we saw this movie before. Maritzburg with Fadlu tried to play some entertaining football. It didn't work out. They were facing relegation. And then they went the pragmatic route in hiring Eric Tintler. And then he started opting for playing that beautiful football. But that also resulted in Maritzburg facing the relegation. But what I like from the management is that they're quick. They're not waiting for half of the season to go for them to make a decision. They're like, look, rather let's get out this coach and get a new guy who's gonna basically take us out of the relegation. He did it before. And Middendorp is there again. What's nice about it is that he doesn't have to play that beautiful football. We know him. He's a pragmatic coach. He just wants results. He's going to give them that. Are they going to survive the relegation? Well, only we'll see at the end of the season. But I can bet my money and say that Maritzburg United will not be relegated this season. But congratulations to SuperSport United on winning the game. Deserved winners. All right, well, Pirates against Baroka FC. I can say this. At the start of the season, we spoke about how if you look good, you play good. This is something that was said by Huitzi. And we can see that from Baroka FC. Baroka is playing some good football. They're getting some results. Or maybe they could do better. Let's put it that way. Baroka FC could do better. But when you speak about Orlando Pirates, a team where you can say that they are getting the results. They are more pragmatic. I did say that I like the way when Zimbabwe came on and Pirates was playing one of the most exciting football, scoring a number of goals. But now I think they're more pragmatic. But I think for me, I was questioning the lineup that I saw from him. There were too many midfielders in the team. I mean, from Tambo, Makaringe, Ndlovu. And I was like, but what about the attackers? And you kind of saw that, yes, Pirates had the ball possession. Pirates was playing. But you need attackers. And just having Lepasa, who's a natural attacker, I'm like, where's Pule? Where's all the other guys? We know that Lodge is injured, but yeah, I felt they lacked something. And it's funny because a team that plays without Makaringe actually does well and wins. So I don't know if maybe this means that Jay-Z has to maybe put Makaringe on a bench rather. I don't know. But as soon as he started making some changes in putting Mabasa, then Pirates paid low. They were more direct. And I would say that it was also that they were fortunate as well, that they were able to get the equalizer at the last minute of the game. But Baroka FC, I like how they play. And we can say history also shows us that Pirates always struggles against Baroka FC. But don't take anything from Baroka. They were playing. They look good. And yes, they scored from Ofori's mistake, which you hardly see that from him. But I think the thing about Ofori is that we need to understand that he's still a young goalkeeper. He's quality, but he's still a young goalkeeper. So you are going to find those mistakes that he's going to do. But he's not going to do a lot of those. So there's no way that mistake will essentially then mean that Ofori has to now sit on the bench. No, he shouldn't. He's a quality goalkeeper. But it has put a little bit of a stop to that run that Pirates had with the draw. But it's not a bad result. But they definitely could do better. What does it mean for both teams? Well, for Baroka, they need to really look hard and see what is it that they have to do. They need to be defensively solid to secure the points. If they're winning, they needed to secure for them to win that game. For Pirates, there needs to be more flair. They are solid defensively, but there needs to be that flair in that team for them to be able to say, okay, you know what? We are competing for the league this season. Predictions for the upcoming games, I will give you later on in the segment. But I like Baroka. They're a very good side. Pirates, you could do better. The problems keep on piling up. Just when you think that Kevin Hunt has found the formula to at least build from to start getting some positive results, but the problems keep getting even worse. I can even say that I think the biggest problem that Kevin Hunt is facing at the moment is his defense. His defense is the concern. Now, they're leaking goals, a lot of goals. And I could understand Kevin Hunt opting to play 3 centre-backs because he needs to stop stopping the rot. And unfortunately, against Swallows, what you found is that a team that is high in confidence, they had a great start this season in them not having even lost thus far. So, and I could see that there was a number of Kaizer Chiefs fans who were optimistic about that game, hoping that Kaizer Chiefs was going to win. But I would say that the result didn't really surprise me, but I can say that I was expecting at least a little bit more. And look, I know they're saying if we look at the structure, so he's playing 3 centre backs and he's using Moleko and Zulu as the wing, and I could see that he's trying to play that contest system of using those fullbacks to play as wingers, to bomb forward, put in the crosses. And you're looking at Castro, you're looking at Kamabile there, and Kamabile was quiet in that game. Castro, he was trying a little bit. Ngobo, I would say he's probably one of the consistent Kaizer Chiefs players in terms of his performances, but I'm sure there's more that he can improve on in affecting the game in a positive way. And apart from them not scoring, I think the biggest problem is their defense. Once you stop conceding goals, once you stop losing, I think this is where they can build from it, because you can never have confidence in your attackers if you're leaking goals. So once they stop them leaking goals and maybe start drawing a couple of games, only then I think that Kaizer Chiefs will probably get that courage of then starting to score some goals. In looking at the likes of Bernard Parker and Katsande and all those guys have been at Kaizer Chiefs, but you're not really going to look at those guys to be the ones to change the fortunes of Kaizer Chiefs. And the ban has really affected Kevin Hunt and his team. We need to be honest about it. It has affected Kevin Hunt in the way he plays. Had he then gone out to the market and purchased the players like your Monaris, your Nanges, your Hotos, probably the results will be a little bit different. But we're speaking about what ifs. The situation at hand at the moment for Kaizer Chiefs is that they're losing. They don't have the players, so he has to use the MCD players. He has to use what he's got. And by the way, this team was second last season, so it's not a bad team. He just needs to find a way to make them click. He just needs to find those results. For Moroka Swallows, look, that team is on a high, and it's definitely a surprise package for what most people predicted for this new season. The Birds are indeed back, and they've got quality. They're playing with your Lebohang Mukwena, with your Vuyo Mere, with your Freeze, who Navaile Koko Chiefs in Abamukubile, Marashi from Otlalamona to go Moroka Swallows, Liring, you know. And then that youngster, Wako Kaizer Chiefs. Look, guys, Moroka Swallows is I think like any other in every season. I always say this: teams that come from the Glad Africa Championship, they always come and perform better because people don't really know what to expect. I think the true test for Moroka Swallows will come after the second round of the season. Only then we will see what will happen to Moroka Swallows. But it's definitely a great start from Moroka Swallows. Kaizer Chiefs, they need to work on it. And today's game in the CAF Champions League should be a game that Kaizer Chiefs needs to win for that confidence booster for their upcoming game. Mamelodi Sundowns. This team is on fire. The football they're playing, the goals, what they're building there is amazing, and it's great to watch. The way that Sundowns plays, the personnel that's at Sundowns, you can see its quality across the board, from the bench, from the team selection itself to the technical team. It's quality. I mean, can you ever stop watching Mamelodi Sundowns this season? You know, I will pick a couple of plays in the way they play. Now, everybody knows that Khoza slots in between the two center backs, collects the ball, pass it, and then in situations where he's pushing a bit forward, you do have Madisha and Nascimento who go out wide and pass with the goalkeeper, where they can spread the passes either to the fullbacks or maybe play that direct ball to your midfield, or maybe play that over ball to your strikers. And the quality is equally in terms of Nascimento doing that to Madisha doing that, and Khoza slotting in and doing that if other teams are trying to press Mamelodi Sundowns out from the back. You're looking at the work that Angela Dali does. You're looking at Mabua, who in the absence of Mkhulise has slotted into that role where people tend to forget that Mabua is a midfielder. He's not a striker. When he came on to Sundowns needed a striker, and hence the situation of Coach Spitzo converting Mabua to a striker. But the position that he's playing and the way he's excelling, that's his position. That's what we know Mabua as from Maritzburg United. And he is playing a stellar game. Charlie's playing a stellar game. Khoza is playing a stellar game. You're looking at Zwane, his form continues from the brace that he scored in the previous game against AmaZulu to him playing the way he was playing, his movements. You just love watching Charlie play. Erasmus and Shalulile combining as the two strikers, assisting each other, both of them. Where can you stop Mamelodi Sundowns at this point on? Another play which was very interesting. Stellenbosch tried to press Mamelodi Sundowns in their own half, and they were passing the ball, and Stellenbosch committed more numbers in trying to get the ball from Mamelodi Sundowns. But what they then did was expose their back as well. And what then happened is that Shalulile was left one-on-one with the defender, and Khoza, who was brilliant in seeing that, as soon as he got the ball, immediately he played the diagonal ball to Shalulile. Unfortunately, he mistouched the ball, and hence it didn't result in a goal. But it's good to see that there's a different range of plays that Mamelodi Sundowns has, either from being pressed high, or then from building, or them exposing the high line that other teams would have, or maybe exposing that gap behind the goalie. They definitely, I will say this. I will bet and say that Mamelodi Sundowns this season will become the Invincibles. They will not lose a game. I don't see a team in the PSL at the moment that will come and upset Mamelodi Sundowns and beat them. Pirates at the moment seem like the kind of team that would maybe compete with them. I mean, they're defensively solid, but we've seen that Mamelodi Sundowns, they're scoring for fun. Stellenbosch, there's a couple of changes in Dupree, in Skellum, but they just couldn't against Mamelodi Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns is quality. And them scoring first just made things worse. And Sundowns looks like a hungry team. They look like they want to score and score and score. Who's going to stop them? I don't think any team is capable of stopping them at this point on. But that's my prediction. Now, looking at the fixtures, I'll just maybe look at roughly. I'll just point out fixtures that I think that are maybe a highlight. It would be Moroka Swallows. I think Golden Arrows is going to be a true test of Moroka Swallows. I see this one as a draw. Cape Town City against Pirates, always an exciting game. another true test for Orlando Pirates against a team that plays, who attacks. We've seen this game in the MTN8, but this time around, I would say Cape Town City is going to edge this one because Zimbabwe seems to not have figured out his team. He's chopping and changing too much, and I think it's going to cost him. So this one, I'll give it to Cape Town City. I will give it a score of, I would say it's going to be a tight one because Pirates doesn't seem like the team where you score a lot of goals. So I'll give it either a 2-0 or 2-1. If I'm looking at Mamelodi Sundowns, they're just going to add on to the woes of Maritzburg United, with them obviously waiting for Ernst Middendorp to come on board to steer the ship in the right direction. But Sundowns is going to add on top of that. Minimum, Sundowns is going to go 3. Probably you might see 4 or 5. And TTM and AmaZulu, I think this time around, AmaZulu is going to edge this one. AmaZulu is going to win. But those are my predictions. The others you'll see. I've posted them there, what I think is going to happen in the other fixtures. But yeah, exciting week ahead. So far, so good for the DSTV Premiership. There's some goals. There's some good plays out there. I'm loving it. It's the Master Tactician fan. Look, you know it, Mos. You will find us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Subscribe, turn on the notification, share, like, do zonke bonke. You know it. I'm signing out. Comment. Tell us what you think on all the games that we spoke about and my predictions. You want to compete with me? Tell me your predictions. Let's see who is spot on. Because I can tell you, so far, I'm on the money. Cheers, guys.